What it do? It's your boy Illuminated D. You know what I'm saying? We back with another one. So YouTube family, today is July 29th, 2024. And I just want to let you all know that myself and Pops, we really appreciate you coming over and consuming the content and taking the time out of your day to listen to the content. Subscribe, like, and comment, and we really appreciate you. And I just want to say, even if you don't like every single thing that we necessarily speak about, I do believe that there is something in here for every single person, every single age bracket, regardless if it's from my own self speaking or from Pop speaking or from any other speaker that comes onto the channel. I really firmly believe that everybody has at least something that they can either learn from or they can take and put in their tool bag and utilize it for greatness, right? So with this topic today, I don't want to trigger anybody. So if you're easily triggered, don't watch this one. But if you're not, this will be a good listen, okay? So me and my buddy, we were actually sitting and we were talking, and I had a realization. And the realization that I actually came to was that I'm like, wait, in the dating world today, see, I was raised as a chivalrous man, right? They taught me to be chivalrous. They taught me that I'm supposed to pull out your chair. I'm supposed to open your door. You know, I'm supposed to pay for everything, pretty much. Well, you know, the funny part about it is because I was raised with, you know, women and men. And interestingly enough, so as a child, looking at it from a child standpoint, when I was with the women in my family, right? As a child, they paid for everything for the child. I noticed, like, since women are nurturers, 9 times out of 10, usually they're paying for the child, interestingly enough. Now, I'm not sure if it comes out of the man's pocket. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure exactly how that dynamic was working, but I'm pretty sure that they were the ones paying for everything for me. Now, when it came to me being in a relationship, it transferred energy and it became that I pay for the woman that I'm courting. Now, I'm not going to jump off topic. I just want to kind of jump into this real quick because I don't want to hold you, because I'm on limited time. Excuse me. If we look back at the old days, right? Let's go back a couple centuries, then come back to modern day time, and then let's come back to the present. So quickly, if we look at back in the old days, right, before, you know, a man would bring a certain level of value, and then another family would marry their daughter off to this man, and thus creating a stronger union within the family, so that their nation can become bigger. So kings and queens, and then it started trickling down even more so into the farmland, where if you wanted to marry somebody, then you had to provide value and your family had to provide value in order for you to marry the woman. And then what it did was it brought the families together so that their overall family union would become stronger. So they did it off of a asset base of who they were choosing in order to marry into their family. All right, let's jump into the modern day. Usually a man would court her, right? Take her on nice dates. We're talking Greece time. We're in Greece session now. And then you would go to the father and ask the same way, but just different, and ask for their daughter's hand in marriage. And then they would do an assessment on, okay, How much value do you bring? Do you have the ability to take care of my daughter? Does she have a roof over her head? Are you going to be able to protect for her and provide for her? Okay. Then we started moving into modern day society in the present time, where everybody has the equal rights. Everybody has the ability to take care of themselves. Everybody has this ability, and more people are independent. And understanding their independence, more people are taking the approach to it and saying, you know what value do you provide in my life? Now, I think the problem that Pops was having was when I started looking at the dynamic, and he said, well, why is it that these Pookie and these Ray Rays have the same potential to get the box, as he would call it, or as I would call it, you know what I'm saying, get some play, right? Why would they have the same potential to get the same play that I get, but I'm the one putting up all the money, but they don't do any work? Now, don't get me wrong. You know, I told Pops, I've definitely been a Pookie and a Ray Ray, so I've definitely been in the position where I didn't bring anything to the table, like, aside from just a good time, catching a vibe. We didn't really do much, just came to the crib, caught a vibe, and then chilled out. And then there was another poor soul who was providing for everything. But, you know, don't get me wrong, like, I'm very chivalrous. Like, I'm gonna do for you, high key. Like, if I actually like you, like, I'm gonna do things for you. You know what I'm saying? I might buy a flight, I might buy you a bag, I might buy you some food. It just depends on what it is. But I think that was the dynamic that Pops was talking about, is that these Pookie and these Ray Rays have the same potential, get play potential, without putting in any effort, without providing any value. And people feel some type of way, not necessarily Pops, but people in general feel some type of way that they have to exert more energy in order to get less, versus somebody exerting less energy to get more. And I think that's a huge thing today. And then bringing it back to the topic of this is chess, not checkers, because my buddy was telling me, he said on the chessboard, the queen has the ability to move around the chessboard. And this brings into my topic of why the king and the queen are very specific individuals, and they're very dynamic apart. Because, okay, women bring value. They bring a specific type of value that the man wants, right? Or their friends want, or their family wants, right? But when it comes to like dating relationships, or just building an even foundation, on the chessboard, women or the queen have the ability to jump levels autonomously, like as if they were omnipotent, right? And this is why I say that, because this might trigger people. I don't want to trigger you. So if you're easily triggered, don't take this the wrong way. This is a positive thing for women. Women have it easier, right? And I'm gonna say specifically, don't get triggered. Let me explain it. Women have it easier. You can have no money in your bank account. You can have no ride. You can bring literally nothing to the table, right? And guaranteed, a man will still try to bag you if you look halfway decent. You don't even have to look decent, and a dude will still try to get at you. You don't have to have any money or any connections. All you got to do is look good, and you can end up on a yacht. You can end up at a dinner party with multi-millionaires. You can find your way in the top classes just based off of the look dynamic. I'm not saying that you don't have to provide any sort of value or have knowledge about yourself, but what I'm saying is that I know so many video vixens, baddies, and they don't got no job. They don't really got to bring nothing to the table, but they still gonna be on Front Street, and they still gonna be around the high class individuals because they look good. And I would say that's a blessing, because y'all got blessed. But look, let's move it over to the king chess piece, or the man chess piece. We can only move one piece at a time. So like, in order for me to end up in the same room, I have to either have a connection to somebody who's in that room. I have to either have a friend who's in that room that invites me. I have to either have put in a certain amount of work in order to even get an invite. And I either or have to be or have a certain level of value in order to even get in the room. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like I have the gift of like connectability. So as soon as I meet somebody, because of different ways that I've grown up and different individuals that I've been around, it allows me the opportunity to be able to communicate very specifically with each and every single individual, to connect with them so that I can build a bond faster versus an individual who hasn't worked on their communication skills. So looking at this, when I say this is chess, not checkers, I think that it is important to have a woman who has the connection base, does take care of theirself, and has access to those rooms, because I can't get there, but you can. And if you can get there and you fuck with me, then instantly I have access. And it doesn't, and you might be giving the cheeks up, I don't know, but that's not my immediate problem. My thing is, I don't have access, and all of a sudden I have access. That means that you provided me a value of putting me in a position that I wasn't able to go to, which is valuable. So that connection base is so valuable. That ability is such an amazing ability, but if it's used improperly, if it's used with no tact, if it's used with no substance, then basically simultaneously all you're doing is you're drinking for free, traveling for free, smashing for free, eating for free, and hopefully you're getting a bag out of it. If they're not paying you, you're doing it all for free with no future value. It's kind of like working at a bar. The bar doesn't necessarily have a 401k plan. They don't have a good healthcare plan. They don't have a good dental plan. They don't have a good future plan so that in the next 40, 50, 60 years, you can retire. And because you've paid into your Social Security, you've paid into your 401k, you've paid into your passive cash cow asset holdings, you started a couple businesses so that you can stop working and live off of the passive residual income. You're basically like enjoying the time that you have and then not setting up a future with it. So I think the video vixens, right, that are really smart, or the individuals who are really smart, they get themselves into these positions. They're already smart individuals, and then they put themselves in position. They get fronted into the position based off of their femininity or what it is that they bring to the table, and then they level themselves up. So I think that this is a very important dynamic to why this is chess and not checkers. And I think that we have this divide. We have a divide right now where men and women are at a feud and everybody feels like they're being used. But the truth of it is no matter what it is, you have to get vouched for in order to get anywhere. You have to you got to get some sort of vouching, some sort of cosign. Now, your work can speak for itself, but if you just let your work speak for itself, then it might take longer because you have to build from ground up. You have to build the relationship base. But if you have the right individuals in your corner, you can shoot straight to the top, and then if you already have the knowledge, then you can just sustain there. So, in the conclusion of all this, it's not to say who has better assets and, okay. Let me go into the men. I'm sorry. So the men, but we have to pay for everything. So, and I broke that down, and I think the most important thing about it is making your partner, and when I say make them, yes, sometimes you have to make them because some people are selfish, right? So you do have selfish individuals in the world. So you have to not necessarily make them, but put them in the position to be an asset. So like if you go out to lunch and I pay for like 15 lunches, right? I pay for 15 lunch dates. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily counting, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of see where my money is being allocated because I watch my funds, right? And I know where I'm allocating my funds and who I'm allocating them to. So if I bought 15, can you buy 16? And if you can't buy 16 at least once, then that means that that's not the person for you because they don't actually care about you. They're a leech. But if you have somebody who's willing to at least sometimes try, even if they don't have it all, because you got to understand that in these times of today, we're living in inflation, so you can't expect everybody to just have the bread, you know what I'm saying? But if they do give their last and you know that it's their last, then that should be a clear indication that that person actually cares for you. So if you did now, and I do think that we have to pick our partners wisely. We should be picking our partners wisely, especially who we choose to date, because you know what I'm saying, you are giving your body out, you're giving your essence, and you're giving your energy. And I've noticed if I do anything with somebody, they instantly start leveling up, they get to new heights. I'm a level up regardless because that's just the energy that I have, and that's just what I'm built for, right? So I'm gonna level up. But what I have noticed is sometimes the individuals that start to level up off of your energy basis, they don't necessarily reach back. But the ones reach back to help out and be like, you know what? I know you gave me all this good energy. You know, let me help you. Some people do, some people don't. But don't hold it against them. Because remember, like I said, some people are selfish. And in order to help people to not be so selfish, you have to put them in position to be able to be an asset to you. And you have to put yourself in position to be able to be an asset to them, all right? So just looking at the dynamic of how the relationships and the basis are built, we all need to start coming together, and we need to utilize each other in our talents and our abilities and our connection basis, and we need to stop being so selfish. Because the sooner we stop being selfish, the sooner we all level up as a society, and the sooner we can all eat good just like the rest of the world, all right? Because we all want to be successful and we all want to be somewhere in life. But in order to do that, you got to do something that you ain't never done before. And that's the reason that we doing this right here, right now. Everybody be blessed, be safe, we out.